What's up, you guys? Hope you're doing well. I hope you like my setup behind me. I've got some of my certificates, and then I've got a few more in front of me as well, which I will add at the top there in a day or two. So basically, in this video, I wanted to talk about what is a white belt in Jiu-Jitsu or any martial art. Well, the white belt is actually the hardest belt to achieve, believe it or not. You would think that the hardest belt to achieve would be the black belt, or the top of the hierarchy, which is the red belt in jiu-jitsu. Okay, but in reality, the hardest belt to achieve is the white belt, which is crazy because you don't have to do anything in order to achieve it. You just walk through the front door, and then day one, your instructor is going to tie it around your waist, and there it is, job done. Well, that is true, but the student first has to overcome a lot of mental challenges in order to get that belt. They have to step through the front door, and that takes a lot of courage. Okay, most people don't have the courage to step through the front door at a normal gym, a normal weight training gym, let alone a martial arts gym, which basically means you're trying to put yourself in a fight situation, and people are terrified of fights naturally. Now, your club might have a rule against white belt sparring, or they can't spar in their first class or first week or first 2 weeks, whatever it is. But basically, people don't really step through the front door of a dojo because they're putting themselves in a fight situation, which is what most people are trying to spend their life trying to avoid. So due to that reason, it's actually the hardest belt to achieve. Okay, people are worried about what other students are going to think of them. They might be worried about what their parents or the family might think of them if they tell them they start training martial arts. They might have a mental or physical disability that they are embarrassed about, or that limits their ability to perform on the mat. Okay, so as you can see, there's not a lot of challenges. Okay, in terms of achieving the rank. But there's a lot of mental challenges that come before it, and that's why statistically the hardest bout is the hardest one to get. Okay, the whole world aren't white belts, or at least 99.9% of the world aren't white belts, because most people are actually no belts. They have no martial arts grade whatsoever. Okay, you have to take the first step in order to get promoted to white belt, and that's why it's the most difficult. So, having said that, what is a white belt? Let's dive in a little bit deeper. Well, the white belt is the belt of no knowledge. They are a clean slate, okay? Which is actually a very good thing for the instructor. Sometimes you have students come in that it's their first day. They're a white belt in jiu-jitsu, but they've done boxing, kickboxing, K1, karate, etc. And sometimes the knowledge that they have can actually hinder them when they start learning jiu-jitsu, okay? Because we have to kind of rewrite some of their programming, okay? In taekwondo and karate, for example, you are taught to strike your opponent from the standing position. You stand and you strike with them, okay? And you're trying to land your kicks. However, if you get into a street fight and your opponent is bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic, that strategy is probably going to do more harm than good. Okay, what we teach in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is we teach you to close the distance, okay, and we teach you to take the fight onto the ground, because it neutralizes some of this size and strength advantage that your opponent has over you. Not completely, but it helps, okay? So you see how we have to rewrite the code. Okay, they're taught to punch and kick the attacker, okay? We teach them to control the distance, either stepping really far away where our opponent can't hit us, or we step super close and then take them down from there, okay? So most cases your opponent will have, your student will have no knowledge whatsoever, but sometimes you have to reprogram what they've already been taught, or at least adapt it slightly, or add on to their current knowledge, okay? Now, what should a white belt be able to achieve, okay? If it's their first day, then you're just looking for the student to be able to perform a technique safely, have a very rough understanding of the move that is being taught in that class, okay? Be it 1 move or 2 moves or 3 moves, whatever it is, okay? They're not going to get it technically perfect, but as long as they have a rough idea of the move, i.e. they can put the move into context, okay? Is the move being done from a standing position, or is it being done on the ground, okay? Is the move being done from the top of the fight or the bottom of the fight? Is the move a control, a pin control, for example, side mount control? Or is it a submission, which is how you finish the fight, okay? Your student, the white belt should be able to establish how the move falls into each one of those categories. And they should be able to get at least 1, 2, or 3 reps of the move in a very haphazard sort of way, okay? It's not going to be technically perfect. They're not going to have all the little micro details, but you're just looking for them to be able to do a half decent rep, okay? So if it's an arm lock, you're just looking for the legs to be in the right position, and you're just looking to hyperextend the arm and kind of being able to do that safely, okay? So that's a brand new student on their first day. That's what a white belt should be able to achieve. Now, let's say they have got a first stripe. Well, they should have seen every technique in the white belt curriculum at least once, okay? Now, obviously, that cannot always happen due to the student's work schedule or home life or whatever it is. But hopefully, they should have seen most of the curriculum at least once, okay? And again, be able to perform at least 1 half decent rep of each move in the syllabus, okay? Let's say they've got 2 or 3 stripes. They should have seen each technique 2, 3 times, okay? And they should be able to give a brief explanation of the move, and they should be able to maybe teach someone else on their very first day, okay? They're obviously not an instructor, but let's say someone brand new comes in, it's their very first day. The 2nd or 3rd stripe student will often be able to help out the person that's on their very first day. So you can see right from the get-go, a white belt can actually start passing on their knowledge. They started with absolutely nothing whatsoever, but as soon as you're at a club for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, you can see how very quickly they can start passing on their knowledge, which is a very, very, very good thing. And let's say the white belt has got 4 stripes now, so they're at the very top of the white belt hierarchy, okay? In jiu-jitsu, you have a white belt and you have 4 stripes. That's how it goes. The next belt would be blue, okay? Or under Gracie University, a combatives belt, which is a white belt with a blue stripe through it, okay? But right now they've got 4 stripes. They should have definitely seen every single move in the white belt syllabus, okay? They should know how to take their opponent down, okay? Not just once, they should have a couple moves, okay? You know, a clinch and a takedown from there, maybe a double leg takedown and a couple others, for example, a rear takedown, which is bringing your opponent down to the floor when you start behind them, okay? Or at least you achieve the rear clinch, which is when you're behind your opponent. So what else should they be able to do? They should be able to identify and control each of the major positions, okay? The mount position, the guard position, the side mount position, and the back mount position, okay? They should be able to identify it correctly, okay? Putting the correct name to the correct position, and they should be able to control their opponent, okay? Someone that's just going absolutely berserk trying to get out. They should have the ability to hold down their opponent, who is roughly their size, ideally slightly bigger than them. And lastly, what should a white belt be able to do? They should be able to finish the fight, okay? Again, from those major positions, okay? So from the mount position, you can do an arm lock, okay? And not just a straight arm lock where you're hyperextending the elbow joint. They could also add in a bent arm lock, okay, for example, the Americana, okay. And they should also be able to finish the fight maybe from that side mount position, okay, and they should be able to take the back, okay, get behind your opponent and finish with the mata leon, okay, or also called the rear naked choke, okay, which is, in my opinion, the best submission in the whole of martial arts, okay. Every white belt should know that, and I wish more people knew it, because if they ever did get into a fight scenario and they had to defend themselves, they would be able to finish the fight safely, okay. The beauty of the rear naked choke is it actually causes no damage. It looks very deadly to the untrained eye. It almost looks like you're killing someone to the untrained eye, believe it or not. But the rear naked choke can be used safely, okay. You can just use it to choke your opponent unconscious, okay, and then if you let go instantly, within 5, 10, 12 seconds, the person wakes up and they're just kind of, a little bit dazed. They kind of, forgot what happened in that moment, okay, the last, 10, 15, 20 seconds. But they will remember that they got into a fight, and they remember lost the fight. They lost the fight as well, okay. So yeah, everyone, let's learn the rear naked choke, and in the future I'm going to do a video on that. Now lastly, the student should know the guard position, okay, which is when you're on the bottom of the fight. This is arguably more important than learning some of the submission holds that we teach you, okay, because chances are if you're against a bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic opponent, you're probably going to be on the bottom of the fight, and therefore you have to be able to defend yourself, okay. In Grace University, we learn how to defend ourselves against a striking opponent, so we basically learn how to defend the punches and all the headbutts and elbows and strikes that can happen from the bottom of the guard. But from a sport jiu-jitsu perspective, from a competition perspective, the student should also know how to finish the fight from that guard position. For example, a triangle choke, okay, which is an artery choke, a blood choke, but this time using the legs as opposed to the arms. Okay, so those are a few things that the white belt should be able to do by the time they reach their 4th stripe. Okay, so identify the major positions, be able to control an opponent, and be able to finish the fight. Okay, and one thing I haven't added in yet is actually very important. Okay, we're on the bottom of the fight and we're able to escape some of the worst positions. We're able to escape the mount, we're able to escape the side mount, okay, maybe even escape the back mount, okay. So yeah, the white belt should definitely be able to do all of these 4 things, okay. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the future, I may make a more in-depth video of what the white belt is, and in the future I'm going to make a video about what the blue belt is, okay, and a very important one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Thank you.